Our breaking news story this hour, former police constable Nomia Ndlovu has been found guilty on 6 counts of murder. She's also found guilty of attempted murder of her mother and also guilty on 6 counts of incitement but not attempted murder against the life of her sister and 5 children. That's just happened a short while ago, in case you've missed it, in court here. The court will be back for arguments of aggravation and mitigation in terms of sentence on the 5th of November. But for now, as the news is breaking, Ndlovu is in Bushbuck Ridge and she was seated with Ndlovu's sister, Joyce. Ndlovu, there the sentence, the judgment has been handed down. We now wait for the sentencing later on. But for today, you were there sitting with Joyce as she was listening to the judgment being handed down against her sister, Nomia Ndlovu. I wonder does she feel like now that judgment has been handed down?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to get in a few moments' time, but then in terms of her reaction and response really to the guilty verdict that's been handed down, to say that 5 of her family members, including Nomia Ndlovu's ex-lover or late lover, were killed by her hand. That's the finding, of course, of the court, to say that she has been found on 6 counts of murder. But also, but then in terms of the sting operation in which she was then arrested, because she was headed to this very house, and as we understand from the evidence in court, to actually have her sister killed alongside her 5 children that you would have been seeing moving around here. They've been also watching with us, but obviously restless as sometimes, and going outside to play and even taking a nap in between. But for 4 hours, myself and Sis Joyce Ndlovu, we've been here, seated here and listening to each and every detail that came out of court. But then I want to bring in Sis Joyce here, just to get a sense really of her reaction. Sis Joyce, slogu sihleli lana, it's about 5 hours. Ngiyazi sizoyikhuluma indaba yokuthi bathene court. Mara asiqale la in terms of ukukhula kwakho no lento le no sis Nomia. Benikhula nonke, you guys were 5 years apart in terms of being born. But just tell us about sis wakho growing up, not what we know, but about her asasemncane. What type of person was she?
Loka kula ikule ikhomane kahle tani leswi nga va makwenu ene ari munhu wa kahle ngopfu swa ku namuntlha nga jika va hi ndlela leyiwa a ni nga swi tshembi.
I'll explain as we go along so that our viewers are up to speed in terms of what you're saying. But you're saying that she was a good person, you guys grew up well, and there was no signs really that she could grow up and do such things as the court has found today. But let's speak to the things that the court has found. Before we come to your case, where we know now, according to the court and the evidence, that she was on her way here to try and murder you and abantwana bakho about 6. But I want us to speak about Ilentole, the 6 counts of murder guilty charge. Bam found guilty of these 6 counts of murder. Some of these people are your family members who you knew very well. Just take us through how you are feeling about this now that the court has decided, which yes, indeed, she had a hand in killing them.
Swa and swa tika futhi hikulo ni langutile a ni nge zi ni kwi maxaka I vana va le kaya hi ku n'wana mhakhi ntsongo I buti ka hina madala brilliant I n'wana ka mina kwa ku mama ntsongo a vula mina vhele hinkwavo sis Audrey na ya ri munhu wa kahle ngopfu. So datsani tweswi ni vavile rifo ra ye ri ni thashile ngopfu. Datsana loko ta lova n'wana wa ye xandza nga ni ve kahle vhele ni nga twisisi ku hayi vanhu lava va fisa ku yini ko lembe na lembe ku fa munhu wa swi vona se a swi amukeleki kahle.
I'll explain again to our viewers. We are just trying to keep them abreast and up to speed with what we are saying, with what you are saying. But essentially, you're saying this is unacceptable. You're saying that it's quite shocking that she would do this. You're speaking about naming each individual and saying just how good of people they were. You've mentioned even Mrs. Audrey. You've mentioned Brilliant, who you say that essentially he's just your son. Nazanele Mota is your daughter, essentially, because your brothers and sisters' kids are essentially your kids. But let's speak to that in terms of the kids, the children. You were supposed to have been killed according to what was in court. We saw the video. You did say that some community members had shown you the video. She was coming here. She bought petrol. She wanted to kill you. Your children are safe today, and you said it's all thanks to God. God has a plan for you. But give us a sense then of how you feel. She hasn't been found guilty of murder in that sense. She's been found guilty of incitement. But just feeling, you already know what the court says she was trying to kill, or she had already killed 6 people. And now you said that the last time we spoke, you were going to leave it to the courts to find out whether she indeed wanted to do this or not. Do you believe, according to what's happened today, that she really wanted to kill you and your children?
Meloko court is mbona nanzu makuna lexi ni nga ta phikiza xona a na ti-rights ta ku phikiza ni nge phikizi court kumbe a ni tivi nchumu ane ene na me leswi a swi la ta ni humelela a ku nga ri swilo leswi a ni tshama ni swi tiva a ni nga tshami ni tiva nchumu swa namuntlha ni la ku fa na vana va mi njhaninjhani ma swi vona hi ku vhele mi vana va mina o tibebulela ni ti hlayisela hi vusiwana ma swi vona na sweswi na ha ri ku hluphekeni a ku na lexi ni nga na xona
Okay, we'll bring them up to speed again, but speaking about how, you know, it's really surprising and it's hurting her at the moment. I can even see it in your eyes about the fact that she wanted to kill your children. You're speaking about the fact that even though you don't have much, but really God always has a plan for you in terms of getting by. But I want you to speak about that. You, the last time you spoke to us, you said these kids are essentially her kids. These are her children. And you didn't understand why she had to kill them or wanted to kill them. That has since not happened. But give us a sense then. Tell us and talk to us about what questions you would have for her in terms of her trying to kill your children, her being found found guilty of killing your other family relatives. What would you say if you were to be seated like this in front of your sister? What would you ask her?
Meti question leti ni nga va ka na to ka yehe ni nga n'wi vutisa kahle swa ku leswi a la ku ni dlaya a ni dlaya na vana va mehe a hi mu johele yini hi ku ni lo ni langutile a ni tshama ni n'wi johela mehe mara a ni xala swigevenga swa ku swi ta ta ni dlaya na vana n'wana i nyiko ya ku ta hi le ka xikwembu n'wana a xi tivi nchumu swi nga mana munhu a dlaya mehe hayi n'wana loyi ni ngo mu bebula no mu ndla ku vava 5 ya vana ma swi vona and lo ni langutile ya nga na n'wana ma swi vona ene vana lavawa ka mundzuku va nga ta mu endlela something va ku he mamankulu a mu endla so mara a la ta va dlaya hi nawu a hi vana va yena vana me a hi vana va yena hi makume i sesi wa meme ni makwenu wa yena i nandzi lowukulu a la ta wu endla vhele
But then that answer basically speaks on the fact that she would really ask her sister if she were to be seated across her to say, why did you want to kill myself? Why did you want to kill my children? Because these are essentially your children. She keeps on repeating that to say that these are essentially her children as well. What did I do to you? That would have been the question. But we're moving on just in terms of concluding this interview. Let's speak about the fact that sentencing hasn't happened. She's been found guilty of other things. She hasn't been found guilty of other things. We've also essentially spoken about those. But let's speak about the sentencing. It's set to happen on the 5th of November, as I understand it, but I stand to be corrected. But you said that you are willing to actually go to court for that. Tell us about that.
I'm no problem. Lovo ta ku van lava court ntaya. Free. And mailana na sentence leyi va ngo ta mi nyika yo ane a hi mayelana na nandzu wa mina kumbe a na nga ni dlanga na hanya na vana va mehe va ya leswi a nga swi endla leswin'wana swi vona ene mehe a ni chuhi nchumu hi ku a ni zanga ni ripota munhu a ni ri a ni zanga ni ripota munhu na ya swi tivile a nga ko swa ma ni ripotanga munhu na family ya ka hina makwenu wa mehe na mhakhi va nga ni soli va sungula ku ni zonda va kuma hi ngi me ni ripote munhu ma swi vona a ni zanga mehe na le police station ya le joni a ni ku tivi
Okay, but then that final one is essentially speaking on the fact that whatever happens to her in court, whether she gets sentenced, it's going to be about what she had done. And she says that her sister must not hold a grudge against her in terms of whether she's sentenced or not. She even says that she has never been in a police station, let alone be in a Johannesburg police station to open any case. And I'm guessing that's an indication really of some of the fears you have around your sister. Final question, really, I'm going to try and push my luck here. She's been found of one attempted murder charge, and that is against your mother. Your mother has since went to court and denied that her life was in danger. Just take us through your feelings about this, that she even tried to kill her own mother, as far as the court is saying. How do you feel about that one?
mayo mhaka ile ya vava ngopfu hikanene hambilova u yo hunguka u nge pfuki ha mhaka yo fa tihlo kumbe yo sa eka nhompfu kumbe ndleve u mi xala swigevenga swa swi mu dlayela hina yi la ku hanya mi tshika hanya
And they even spoke about that the money was around 2,000, 3,000 for her to be killed. Some gruesome details really coming out of court. But final one from myself. The sentencing is going to happen. We don't know yet what fate holds for her. But do you have any wish in terms of her sentence, or are you leaving it to the court as you always said? And would you feel safe if she was out at some point in the near future?
mayelana na sentence ma na nkinga hikuva ni me a nga ripotanga hi mina ne na me butlindo me a ni nga tivi nchumu no vona maphorisa lo va fika la va ku says Joyce swi tivi swa namuntlha a wu fa 9 o'clock na vusiku no ku ni dlawela yini va ku sesi wa ku xavile petrol hi mhaka ku joyinele ti-insurance wena na vana va wena se leswi a la ta ti endlela hi ku i ra mipfi mi fa la ka family ya wa ku fi ku fa munhu
Just very quickly, based on what we've heard, are you scared of your sister now?
na vhela ni chavisa xemo swa leswi a la ta swi endla i vusathana bya njhani swi ni chavisile ne swa ha ni chavisa vhele
I know. Siyabonga kakhulu, sis. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Sister Joyce, and allowing us into your home. We've been sitting here for 4 hours. Thank you very much. But then that's Sister Joyce, really, Joyce Ndlovu, who is the younger sister of Nomia Ndlovu. They are 5 years apart. And according to what we've heard and allegations, she was supposed to have been killed, as we understand it, from that sting operation that was by the police. But emphasis from Sister Joyce is that she's really scared of her sister at the moment. And one of the things she said is that she's never opened a case for anyone. She's never been to a police station, not even in Johannesburg. So really, she's appealing to say that her sister must not have any grudges against her, because even the guilty verdicts that are really going to weigh heavy on her when it comes to sentencing are based on the things that she has done, which exclude her coming to try and kill her, because that one is a charge of incitement that she's since been found guilty of. So really appeals here in terms of no holding of grudges, but more than anything, I think what hits home is the fact that Sister Joyce is saying that she is scared of her sister.
Yeah, and that question she asked earlier there in answering one of your questions, that what did we do to wrong her? What did I do to wrong her for her to want to kill me and my children and set us alight with petrol? Thank you very much, Linda Oguhlekulu. That is an important exchange for us to be fortunate enough to be in her home for the last 5 hours, watching the judgment being delivered, and now sharing the last few minutes talking to you about her sentiments ahead of the sentencing of her sister, Nomia Ndlovu, who's been found guilty on 6 counts of murder, plus a slew of other counts, as we broke the story here for you a short while ago.